with Tuesday Night Modern, coming from Mason, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. And we've got Andrew Tefft on Boros, Prowess, Connor Sloan on Mono Green Tron, and we are joining this in progress. We got a chromatic sphere that's being cracked by Connor. Andrew had turn 1 Monastery Swift Spear. I'm excited for this one. I love Andrew's deck. I love the Boros Prowess idea. I tried to make it work several times myself, and he's definitely taken a different look at it. But Connor is on curve right now. He's got 2 Tron lands. He's got a Relic. He's got a Forest in hand. Don't know if he's got the Power Plant. Haven't gotten a good look. He's got Ugin in there. I think he's got another Ancient Stirrings. So Andrew might not have a lot of time to work his magic, but he's got a lot of explosiveness with this. So he's going second Monastery Swift Spear, crash through to pump the team with Prowess triggers, and Connor is going to take some early damage and drop to 15. So we got the draw, and looks like he is going to have some options here as far as cantripping to get to a 3rd land, but he's going to have to play the green source to do it. So plays the green Ancient Stirrings. Tower, Oblivion Stone. Not what he's looking for. He's going to take the Relic because the Relic's going to let him draw another card deep. And he's going to pass the turn. So Andrew's got yet more time to try and pile on the damage. He's got a handful of potential gas here. Lava Spike, Prowess trigger. It's just a matter if he can outrace the inevitable train. Light up the stage, another Prowess trigger. Bolt and Crash Through, which is good hits. He's got a land in hand. So you can immediately fire off the Bolt, go face. Oh, no, he's playing Crash Through. He's going to draw the card instead, so you get the Prowess triggers. Those are 4, 5 Monastery Swift Spears. Gut shot. Ooh. Takes Connor to 11. That's going to take him to 1. That's awesome. So that is scoop up for Connor Sloan very fast. I mean, I was, oof. That is good. That is very, very good. So the Boros Prowess idea is, I think, got kind of born out there because of the Mono Red Phoenix deck that was successful at a team open in Columbus, SEG team open a while ago, and it was the version of the Mono Red Phoenix that just seems to have a pretty hefty burn package, with the Phoenix piece really being a backup plan. And so it's trying to put out Soulscar Mage or a Monastery Swift Spear and just power out spells. And if one of them happens to be a Faithless Looting that rolls out some Phoenixes, all the better. And Andrew's deck seems to just triple down on the idea of, well, what if we just build a whole deck around Prowess effects and just go for it?
Did you get to see the Game 1 finale of Promise?
I did not get to see the Game 1 finale of Promise, no.
All right, so Andrew has, I think it's just a 1 of finale of Promise in his deck.
Ooh.
And it's not for anything particularly fancy, but it does generate 3 Prowess triggers because you cast the cards that it targets.
You certainly do. That's why it's good for Phoenix. I know that there's people trying that out there, and it makes perfect sense here. Like, especially since you've got Lava Spikes and plenty of instant speed burn spells as well. I guess, what else sorcery speed would you hit off this deck, though?
I mean, so you get your Lava Spikes is like your ideal thing to hit, but he, I believe, plays Faithless Looting, doesn't he? So you can either get like a Bolt, Faithless Looting, or
Lava Spike, Gut Shot, or...
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, the 3 Prowess triggers off of that is absolutely choice. I like... The version of this I put together had mutagenic growths.
Okay.
So that was interesting, and then I also used Boros Charms to give my dude double strikes so I can win on turn 3.
Okay.
I did that a couple times at regionals, and it felt great. And then all the times I lost wasn't so much. But I ended up going 4-4, so I can't complain too much.
Now, I'll be honest, back on the topic of when you were asking me to try and explain the appeal of control a little bit.
Right, and you're a sadist. We covered that.
I have, in my much shorter history of about 9 years or so of Magic now, only played an aggro deck, I believe, once.
Really? Only once?
Even in my casual days, only once. And I don't really fully understand it. Maybe you can explain it a bit better to me. Like, what's the drive to want to play something like that with your just like creatures and damage spells, or just lower cost curve and interaction like that? What draws you to that?
I think my honest answer to that is that it comes down to a fundamental difference in what draws people to the game, and I think it's actually good, and that's why the game is so successful. You know, you are seeing the game from a control perspective, from the multi-layered strategic interaction level, right? Of I am looking at the archetype that I favor by considering a deck that allows me to sculpt the game over the long term in such a way that permits me to win in that scenario.
Okay.
Whereas the aggro player is saying, I am playing this like it's a math problem in which I must put together the correct sequence of cards to come up with the sequence that has the least amount of integers in it so that I can win the game quickly. It's a different type of strategic interaction. It just appeals to a different way of looking at how that interaction plays out. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah, so I'm an accountant by trade, and I like the math problem element of it. Like,
Okay.
like playing burn has been something that I've done a lot because what am I doing? I'm counting to 20, right? Like,
Sure.
and how am I going to count to 20? What sequence am I going to try and attempt to count to 20? How do I interact with my opponent as they interact with me in an attempt to forestall me doing so, or also attempt to count to 20, or in your case, playing against you, disrupting them off such that they can play out their game plan. All that's very interesting to me, just in a different way. Just seeing it in a sadist way. That's all.
I admit that I have some faults with how I like to play the game.
There's nothing faulty about it. That's the only way you're wrong. So this game has developed quickly. Connor has 2 Tron lands and a Sanctum of Ugin. He has burned a relic. Andrew is applying pressure with the Soulscar Mage. He did not get good hits off of his Light Up the Stage. He's got a Bedroom Lever he can't cast, and a Path to Exile, which is not currently useful to him. So he is staring down at a Lightning Bolt, a Lava Spike, a Monastery Swift Spear, and is that another Soulscar Mage?
No.
I think it is.
I'm a bit curious here as to why he didn't opt to just try and push even more damage in with just playing the Swift Spear, but I guess he's trying to build that up for next turn with the Soulscar Mage here.
You know, his biggest fear right now, I presume, is Oblivion Stone, so he didn't want to lay out all of his creature threats, but given that he's locked out of green and did not hit a 3rd Tron land,
I think this might just be lethal here.
If
So he plays the Swift Spear.
Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, attack, yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Yep.
That's going to be it. You are absolutely right.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Rough.
It's beautiful.
So I can understand why that.
I mean,
might
we
seem,
put poor Connor up here twice to kind of get wrecked by pretty bad matchups for him.
Yeah, that is
And there it is. Boom.
a bit unfortunate.